Okay, so the city guards show up and detain the PCs because someone did just die. The other two orcs are captured and imprisoned, and due to the witnesses' confirmation of self-defense, the PCs are let go without any difficulty. They do have to turn over the gem because that was listed as stolen property from someone in town recently. So they do have to turn in that gem, unfortunately. PCs probably spend the next day or two recovering, doing non-important stuff, until they are uh, in. Now, one of the things that's happening is that because of that incident, there's a little bit of fame or infamy, I guess, going through town about the PCs, about watch out for that Obsidian, because he is a real danger, as in he is a real threat. Don't mess with him. You wind up getting your head dashed on the pavement. So there's a little bit of fame going through town because of him to watch out, don't mess with them, and that group of adepts. So we've got the characters, because of that, being they seem to be capable, and they're adepts. They are interrupted walking down the street at some point by Joran Hardhelm, the speaker of the Kaer Council. He approaches the player characters. He wants them to deliver an invitation to Okoros, to the recently awakened Lahala Haragasan, the Tiskrang. She is more or less in charge of the Lahal. That's I guess, the place of hibernation and the basically like tribe or group or clan or community of the Tiskrang. So they are on their way to deliver this message, this invitation. When the PCs get there, they encounter they're brought to an underwater habitation of the Tiskrang. They encounter a Tiskrang. Now, the module does say that the Tiskrang player characters get a pass. They could make a passing perception check here. And if you have to roll perception, you can choose to roll awareness, either the skill or the talent, if your character has that. So Scathra, I think, has an awareness skill. Let me check. Yes, hers is as an 8. And Scorth, I think, has it as well. His awareness is a 9. So we'll roll Scorth first. He makes it. Scathra, she makes it as well. The perception test was just a 4. They do not recognize the Tiskrang who is claiming to be the Lials, the Lahalas, I guess, secretary or warden. So he does offer them to take the message to her, but they've never met this guy before, which is kind of unusual. However, they don't see anything untoward in the situation, so they just give the invitation over to her secretary. Maybe he explains that when the PCs do mention that, like, hey, we've never met this guy before. Who are you? And he explains that he serves in her chamber, so because of that, it is unlikely that they have met him before. They don't think really anything about it, so they hand over the invitation. However, this plays out in an odd way. A few days later, the council meeting takes place. The population awaits the announcement of several important decisions, and many people have gathered in Council Hall to hear Joran Hardhelm talk. Player characters should be invited to accompany their masters. They will notice that a large number of Tiskrang have assembled, most likely because of the Lahal. This assumption is countered by the fact that several of them seem to be angry and throw things at Joran Hardhelm. As soon as he steps out onto the balcony of the council house, the Kaer guards intervene after a few rounds, few minutes, few seconds of this, I guess, Tiskrang probably throwing tomatoes or rocks or something in the general direction of the council leader. But the guards seem to quell them down. Jordan Hardhelm announces that the council has not yet agreed on sending another group of explorers through the gates. The discussion on this topic is still going. A wave of murmurs ripples through the masses. Everyone had anticipated a positive announcement. Weeks of discussion have already passed. The second announcement, however, is worse. Jordan Hardhelm states that the Lahal of the Catan Vros Nial, that's the Tiskrang people, will not receive a seat on the council. Her failure to show up at such an important meeting despite an explicit invitation indicates that she has lost interest in the Kaer's affairs. One of the Tiskrang yells that there never was an invitation. At this point, Jordan Hardhelm, the council hall leader, points to the player characters who happen to be here at the scene and say, they delivered the message. Now the heroes are put in the center of the crosshairs of the crowd here. They explain that they did give a message. They explain that they gave a message to this guy named Kevan, the Tiskrang secretary of the Nial, of the Lahala Haragasan. And the Tiskrang, of course, counter that they've never heard of this guy. There's no one by the name of that in the entire Nial. And they're getting very emotional and very excited. And the players insist that, yeah, we did give this. There's a secretary there called Kevan. And the Tiskrang are shouting, are you calling us folks liars? You don't want us to be on the council, is that it? So again, more racial tension through the Kaer. And the player characters know that they gave this letter to the secretary. So something amiss is afoot. So they're probably going to have to make some type of test to see if they can talk the crowd down. Let's see. Whose character is best suited for this? I'm looking at the character sheets. Scorth has a diplomacy, but it's only at an 8. He'll give it a shot. I'm going to think if Scathra might have a better chance. She's got a conversation skill also at 8, but diplomacy seems a little bit more appropriate. So Scorth steps in. Oh my goodness, it's like the worst possible roll ever. And puts his foot in his mouth. He gets very hostile with the audience, and they throw tomatoes at him, and they think he's an outcast, and they don't think he's standing up for his people. He has lost rank or renown with his people in town. They think he's some type of traitor working for the council and not the interests of his people. Scathra steps in, though, and tries to, with conversation, tries to bring this back to the question on Kavan. And another terrible roll. But at least it's not double one. Okay, so the Tiskrang community is rather upset with the PCs, including, in spite of the fact that there are half the parties made up of Tiskrang. They're upset with the heroes. And they think they're shouting and demanding that another invitation needs to be given to Lahala Haragasan. And the city council seems to relent, because it seems like this is more or less going to be a real problem otherwise, and that maybe something went afoot. Either the player characters dropped the ball, or somebody was up to a bit of mischief. Who knows at this point? Obviously the game master knows. There's notes about it. Alright, a few days go by, and the player characters, our adepts, are helping their masters participating in a contest held among the Kaer's most reputable adepts. The contest takes place on the Gold Court Square of Kaer, that is the dwarf section of the Kaer. It is likely that not every player character has a master who wants to participate, but everybody comes to see and enjoy this event. The contests are mostly based on combat, involve duels, melee and unarmed combat, archery, and show spells. While the player characters do not take part themselves, they assist their masters in carrying weapons and equipment, and generally act as the servants throughout the event. So, there's a bunch of cool things going on. Um, Again, the characters themselves aren't participating, but they are doing a bunch of gopher jobs while a great, more like festival atmosphere is going on in the Kaer. People do look out for that Obsidian and do talk under their hands and murmur when he passes by, talking about how you hear about that. They also talk about Scorth as a disreputable figure, somebody who just give him dirty looks, and Scathra as his sister, not much better looks. They're a little upset with them, still over the incident with Lahala, the Discreting leader. All right, and this is all going on again. There's food and fun and a great festival and carnival. The PCs are sent on a bunch of gopher tasks, but when all that is happening, in the midst of all that, and again, if you were the GM, you could play this up for the as much as you want. And nice thing about this adventure is that there is a list of possible masters, who their masters could be, the adepts who basically taught them their discipline. If that's helpful to the fleshing out, at least you have a list of names and stuff like that, who the player characters could be connected to. So, I mean, it's here. It's on page 26 of the adventure. What I like to do with NPCs is when I can do voices, I like to put down like names of characters or actors or whatever next to people I might try to talk like when I'm using those characters. It makes it a little easier for me with voices and stuff. Or at least, if I can't imitate the voices, I can at least describe them, what they might sound like, where, cultural, pop culture reference, allusion, the players might be familiar with it. Okay. So it's at this point, during the carnival-like atmosphere of this contest of spells and fighting and stuff, that something is happening in the Kaer itself above this carnival-like contest. While the magicians are showing off their spells, a strange thing happens. The giant light quartz in the ceiling of Kaer flickers for a short moment, just as the elven elementalist Shamsin lets loose a fireball. Everybody looks puzzled for a moment, but gets back to business with a shrug. So a light quartz in Earthdawn is kind of like an object, often a stone or something else, that somebody has cast a light spell on, which produces a light effect. A light quartz is often like a little tiny flashlight that the characters can carry as a light source. It's a little safer to use than like a torch. You can typically affix them to a weapon or an item. And oftentimes in Kaers, because they're underground, they'll often have giant light quartzes, these huge lights, to provide light for their underworld living in a Kaer. Alright, so the player characters have to roll a Perception 5 test, and of course they can use awareness if they have it. Garn has an awareness of D12. He is oblivious. He is watching the fighting. Scathra can use her awareness of 2d6. 4 won't cut it. Deza has the awareness as a talent. She can use 2d6. She makes the 5, barely, so Deza's noticed it. And Scorth has an awareness of d8d6. It's 13. 14. So he makes it with a raise. Okay. So, success indicates that Deza and Scorth have noticed that 3 humans are arguing in the crowd and then leave the place through a small alley. So they were pointing to the quartz murmuring and whispering in a kind of odd way. And then they leave through an alley. This will probably get a typical player character's attention. So they might at least be curious. That's definitely in Deza's character description of, curious. So she is going to look into it, and Skorth also notices and follows her as well. They tap the other characters on the shoulder. Hey, we noticed something odd. We're going to go look at it. So they are tracking these group of people. All right. Now, one useful thing here is that if the characters miss this perception test, their masters would ask them to go on another task where they have another chance to make the perception test. So if they miss this one, you can always pivot, run the story a little further, and give them another chance at it. But with the perception test 5, somebody in the group should notice it. Alright, so let's see. They're following the humans through the deeps. And trying to think if they're keeping out in the distance. What they'd probably do is the rest of the party would travel a little further back as not to cause suspicion. Deza, the Windling, I gave her the skill of stealthy stride, so it's not as a talent, but she's got it as a skill. She's going to keep up closer to them. So hers is a 2d6, 9, so their awareness. Let's see if the humans notice. Perception is a d6. We'll just have the guy in the back. Maybe roll, that's a d10. He doesn't notice her. Okay. So, again, Deza is trailing them a little further behind, flying and hiding in shadows. And she has noticed that the 5 humans, including the trio that went up before the heroes, occupy the light quartz room. They've traveled through the underground passages into a passage that leads up into the light quartz room above this area of Kaer, the dwarf section of the Kaer. So she quickly floats back to the party and informs them that they're there, and they go up together to this room. And Deza is sitting at the door. She's going to try to peek at the door, see if she can, when the party is now behind her, she'll see what they're doing in this room. Her stealth is not so great. One of the guys sees her at the door, peeking her head through, and they notice each other. What's going on is these human beings in robes are trying to sever the light crystal's bondings. They failed in their first attempt. However, maybe with the help of these other guys, these other cultists who came upstairs from the crowd, maybe they might succeed in making the light crystal fall down and kill everyone below. So it does look clear to the PCs that they're trying to dislodge this light crystal that's hanging from cables above the town, that they're trying to basically perform a terrorist act. They're trying to drop the light crystal on the crowd below, killing like most of the people in the crowd and causing severe chaos and darkness. So the heroes do step into action here to try to stop these humans, the mysterious robed figures, from conducting their thing. Alright, so we've got kind of a small room, a light quartz room. Let's see. Trying to make this somewhat interesting. So I'm pulling some stuff from my bag here. 1 second. Okay, there's the door. Might have to zoom this up a little bit. And let's do something large for the light quartz. Let's do the light quartz as a big hunk of crystal in the room. We've got the guards scattered around. Not the guards, the cultists trying to knock it down. And the PCs walk in the room. At the door was Windling. The rest of the group was there as well, entering in behind her. And we will do initiative. Let me shift my dice around a bit. So for initiative, Garn will use his Tiger Strike or whatever it's called, Tiger Spring, Dexterity boost. So he will use that, so that will cause him 1 strain. We've got our human cultists. Actually, why am I using pencil? I'm using pen so you guys can see it a little better. We've got our cultists. Their step for initiative is a step 6, so it's also a D10. Garn is going to spend 1 strain, so his D6 is actually moving. A 6 step is moving to an 8 step. So his initiative is actually 8. Alright. And everybody else is going to use, we'll use Scathra first. Hers is a 3. Everybody else is going to use a D10. Scorth, 10 plus 9. Scorth is at a 19. Dez is at 7. And the cultists are on 2. Alright. So, first things first, in the characters go. Everybody is moving before the enemies. So for their standard actions, they're going to move into the room and have each square be 2 yards. So their movement is just their movement rate, half to do a regular movement. So Deza's going to fly. She can fly up to 8 spaces. What she's going to do is she is going to fly up where they can't reach her, more or less as high as she can within the room, and try to cast Earth Dart at one of the guys in the rear. So 5 or 4. So she is flying up. Say she's over here in the corner, it's fine, and she's going to cast Earth Darts at number 4 over here. Okay, so let's look at her spells. Earth Darts is on page 272 of the book. I've got these tabbed E for elemental spells. Earth Darts does not require threads, and the effect is just will plus 3. Alright, so she's just got to make the roll against the target's mystic defense. So the cultists have a mystic defense of... Spell defense is 7. Alright, so 7. Okay, her spell casting for Deza, her spell casting is a step 10, which is 2d8. 6. The mystic defense was 7, so she does not succeed with her earth darts. Alright, that is Deza's turn. Well, I don't know why I went with her first. Scorth had the 19. But anyways, Scorth enters the room, and he is going to step to the side and try to cast... step over here and try to cast one of his spells. In his matrixes, he's got Soul Armor and Spirit Dart. So he is going to cast Soul Armor on himself first. Flip over to that one. Soul Armor casting is Mystic Defense. It does take 1 thread, so he is going to have to cast a thread weaving against a difficulty of 5. So his thread weaving is a 9, that's a d8, d6. Difficulty 5, he makes it. Alright, so he's cast the 1 thread he needs to for Soul Armor for next turn. Okay, that's Scorth. He should have gone first. Okay, we got Garn. His movement is pretty slow, but I think it's enough to get into reach of somebody. His movement rate is 10, so he gets to move 5 squares. 1, 2, 3. He'll just move there and try to slug this guy with his sword. He's got a troll sword and a shield. So he is holding the troll sword one-handed. It's d8 plus d6. And he is going to use a karma die for an extra, bonus to his attack. So he has spent 1 of his 3 karma. 7, 9. And their physical defense is 8, so good thing he did. He would have missed otherwise. So he gets just regular success. And his damage is crazy, though. It's a 15, so it's a d12 plus 2d6. And cultist number 1. So total of 16. Okay. And their physical armor is 3, because they must be wearing leather or something. Let's see, leather armoring up. So 16 minus 3 is 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. First one took 13. Alright. Nice hit for Garn. Scathra goes next. She steps in and she starts mocking relentlessly this guy that they could not handle bringing the crystal down with 3 men, but they needed 5 and they still can't get it down. So she is taunting the cultists here. Her taunt is 2d6. 4. Oh, that is pathetic. She does not beat their social defense of 7. So, it is ineffective. The guys in the back are currently still trying to knock it down. These ones have drawn weapons and are attacking. So, this one is still hacking at it, this one's still hacking at it, and like the cables, and these ones have had to stop hacking and instead turn to fight. So this one's going to step over to him, and yeah, let's just go in order. Their melee weapons are step 8, so they're rolling 2d6. So this is 2d6 versus our Obsidian. Oh, wow. That's a roll of 1 there. So let's say the first cultist drops his weapon trying to swing up the Obsidian. He is unarmed, and he's probably going to have to take his action next round to get the weapon back. Alright, guy number 3 over here is going to attack the Obsidian. 5 will not hit. Second one is going to attack the Scrang. 5 will not hit. And these guys are still hacking away for now. Alright, top of the order. Okay, got to roll initiative again. Garn is going to use another point to try to roll a better initiative for himself. Six, not great. Scathra, 3. Scorth, 7. Deza, 10. 11. Cultists, 2. Alright. So, Deza gets to shoot her earth darts again. Again, 0 thread, so she just gets to cast it. Deza's spell casting is a 10. So I believe that is, what, 2d8, right? Yeah. 6 is still not high enough to beat their spell mystic defense of 7. So her earth darts go astray again. Does not quite hit through the guy's, I guess, spirit or whatever. Alright, that's Deza. Scorth goes. He cast the thread last time for his soul armor. Now he is going to try to cast the spell in order to basically activate the thread he's implanted. His spell casting is 2d8. 9 plus 6 is 15. It's his mystic defense of 9. So this does have a raise at 14. So this is a bonus to that spell. Let's see what the bonus does. Alright, so there's a soul armor. Oh, why did I bother to cast that? That was stupid. That's to improve mystic armor. That was useless. Alright, so again, this is important to read to know your rules. Soul armor is not helpful here. It's only helpful against things that do mystic damage. These guys are just thugs. So what he's casting is kind of useless in this fight. Alright, so let's see here. Success levels increase, just last longer. So it normally does spell casting rank in minutes. His spell casting rank is 3. And this is plus 2 is the bonus, so this armor will be 5 minutes of uselessness. Alright, so his mystic armor goes up by 3. Okay. So that's not going to help him much. Alright, so that was Scorth. Alright, Garn goes next. Just d8, d6. For his melee weapons. 13. 20. Good grief. Alright, so 20. I think that's number 1 there. His physical defense is 8. So this is 2 additional successes. So this is increasing the steps of his damage by 4. The damage of his troll sword is 15 steps plus 4 steps is 19 steps, which is a d20 plus 2d6. Alright, so this is a hefty amount of damage. But d20 is such a swingy die, rolled a 3. So 7 plus 3 is 10, an armor of 3. He's only doing 7 damage against this first one. Okay. Alright, followed by Garn went, so Scathra goes. She tried to taunt, and she'll taunt again this next turn. And again, that's a simple action, so she can strike 2. So she's like, I will, I'm assuming, what. She'll probably harp on the same thing that last time, how they missed her and how clumsy and bungling they are. Okay, so she is going to taunt. Her taunt is 2d6. It's a 6, which is too low for their social defense. However, what she can't accomplish with words, she might accomplish with her actions. So she's going to roll her 2d8, and she will add a karma die to her action here to try to hit this guy. 15, wow. Okay, so that is success with 1 raise. Alright, so she'll do an additional 2 steps of damage. Her broadsword is step 11, plus 2 is 13. So this is a d12 plus d10 for damage. 9 minus 3 is 6. Alright. Okay. That's all the player characters. So the cultists, the 2 that we're not doing anything, decide we probably need to kill these guys before we can bring down this crystal. So they decide to gang up. Alright. So they're ganging up. And these 2 will swing against the Tiskrang. They are using, I think, short swords, yeah. So this is just melee. 2d6. 8. 9. That's too low for her. Physical defense is 10. Yeah, they cannot hit Scathra. Number 5 there, so number 2 will try it. 7 will miss. Alright, number 1 will try against him. 9 will hit. Garn, his physical defense is only 8. And their damage is a step 10, which should just be 2d8. 6 against his physical armor of 4 will only do 2 points of damage. Alright. The third one is also going after the Obsidian. 9 will also hit. 6 will also do another 2 points of damage past his 4 armor. Alright. It was those 2, right? Okay, and now the 4th one against our Tiskrang over here. 10 will hit. 6 points of damage. Scorth has padded leather, so this is 4 armor. Against 6, he's taking 2 points of damage. Alright, top of the order. We gotta roll initiative again. Let's see. Garn will do his Tiger Spring. Gonna roll 2d8. 4. Man, that's just sad rolls. So that costs him another strain. He's at 7. He rolled a 4. Alright, Deza rolls a d12. 4. Not Deza, Scathra. Everybody else rolls d10. Scorth. Deza. Cultus. Alright, so Scorth goes first. He will... Probably try to cast a spell. It's probably going to be Spirit Dart. That does not take any threads. That's just a spellcasting roll against the target's Mystic Defense. As far as I know. Just can't remember how much damage it does. Duration is 2 rounds. That's cool. Spirit Dart. The spell attacks a character with a small dart shaped from astral energy. The magician pinches himself, inflicts his wrist as if throwing the dart, then makes a spell casting test against the target's mystic defense. If successful, the effect test determines how much damage is inflicted. After damage is inflicted, the target's mystic defense, mystic armor is reduced by 2 until the end of the next round. Alright, so I guess that's the duration effect. It's not that it's doing additional damage, it's that the mystic armor is reduced by 2 for, additional round. Okay, so his spell casting for Scorth is a 10, which is 2d8. 9, 12. That beats this guy's spell defense of 7 by 5, so that is a raise. And a raise for this one, a success level, is increased duration. So this guy's mystic armor will be reduced by -2 for total 4 rounds. And this is number 4. MA minus 2. Alright, and that will be for this round, this round, this round, and this round. Okay. Cool. Alright, and that matters, I think, right off the bat, because that drops the guy's mystic armor -2, so now he has no armor, because his mystic armor is 1. So I don't think there's a negative. It doesn't make him additionally weaker, he just loses that 1 point of mystic armor. And this Spirit Dart does will plus 2. And Scorth's willpower is 6, so plus 2 is an 8 step, so it is 2d6. The guy takes 7 points of damage. Okay. And what else? That is Scorth. Let's say Scathra goes first. She will try to taunt this guy one more time. Oh, and she was supposed to take 2 strain for that each time she taunts, so she'll take another one now for a total of 3 strain. And this is just 2d6, right, for her taunt. Yeah, it's a step 8. 9 is finally enough. She's worn the guy down. So this guy is now at a -1 to his actions and his social defense. Okay. And that will last, I don't know, is it rounds or minutes? I think it's rounds. Equal to her rank, so just 2 rounds. So this round and that round, sure. Okay, so that's -1. And what else? She swings at him. Okay, so this is just 2d8. 12. 6. 12 plus 6 is 18. The guy's physical defense is 8. So this is 2 additional successes, raising the damage up by 4. Alright, so her normal step for damage would be a Scathra, her broadsword is 11, but it's going up to 15, which is d12 plus 2d6. 8, 10. Okay, -3 armor is 7. So this guy is at 13. Alright, that was Scathra's turn. It is now Garn's turn. Garn will swing at the guy in front of him. 5 misses. Okay, Deza goes before the cultists. We'll try Earth Dart one more time at number 4 here. And her spell casting is 2d8. 12. That hits. With a raise. Cool. So I think that just for Earth Dart increases the duration of... it reduces the guy's armor. So Earth Darts It is damage is 3 plus will, and it's a physical attack, and it reduces the armor by -2. The duration is 2 rounds, but an increased success levels increases duration +2. So this was an additional raise, so it's going to be 4 rounds at his physical armor at -2. So this is his physical armor is -2 for those 4 rounds, as well as his magical armor, mystic armor, -2. Okay, so the magicians are teaming up on number 4 here. And, it still does its damage, will +3, and her will is 6. So this is doing 9. So this is a d8 plus d6. Wow. All right. 12 plus 18 plus 5 is 23 damage. The guy's physical armor is normally 3, but it's been reduced by 2, so it's only taking 1. So he's taking 22 damage, right? Number 4. He was at 7, now he's at 29. Their unconscious rating is 28. So number 4 is knocked out from the Earth Dart. Okay. That was Deza. And now it's the cultists go. Alright, number 5 and number 2 are swinging at misses with 7, misses with an 8. Her physical defense is a 10. Okay, against the Obsidian, 6 misses, 5 misses. Alright, that's the cultists. Let's see. Garn is not going to do Tiger Spring. We're just going to roll straight. So Scathra, D12. She's on 8. And everybody else is rolling a D10. 7, 9, 4, 2. Alright, Scorth goes first. He's going to cast his same spell he cast last time, Spirit Dart. Spellcasting is step 10, so 2d8. 10, 16. Guy's spell defense is 7, so this is 1 additional raise. Let's see, I think that just increases how long the mystic armor thing is going. He is shooting at number 3 here, his spirit darts. Okay, so number 3 will be at a -2 mystic armor for 4 rounds. And he is taking will +3. His will is 6, so this is 9. D8 plus D6 for damage. 12, 18, 20. And his mystic armor is 0, so he's just taking a flat out 20 points of damage. In 1 attack, he is definitely taking a wound because of that. So he'll be at a -1. Okay, that was Scorth. Okay, cool. That was a good turn for him. And it is Scathra's turn. She is going to be mocking 5 now, as she's still swinging at 2. She is kind of barely paying 2 any attention as she's attacking him. It's like all of her focus is on 5, though she's swinging at 2. So she will do her taunt on number 5 there. 8, 9. Okay, so number 5 is also swinging at -1 for a couple rounds. Okay. Okay. And she's swinging at the other guy, so 2d8. 8 hits him, and she's just going to do her normal broadsword damage, which is step 11, d10, d8. 14 plus 7 is 21. 21 minus the guy's 3 armor does 18. 18 on this guy who's already taking 13 would be 31. And that knocks him unconscious. So number 2 is unconscious. Okay. That was Scathra's turn. Garn goes next. His attack is d8 plus d6 against the guy in front of him. 5 misses again, dang. Okay, that's Garn. Deza goes. Deza's going to do Earth Darts against number 1 to try to soften him up for Garn. So Earth Darts is her, I think she's got spellcasting at 10. There's a 10, so 2d8. 11. 15. So this will be for 2 additional rounds. So this is going to be number 1, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. His physical armor is at -2. And he takes will plus 3, which is 9 damage. Six. And he takes 5 of that because it's got 1 armor left. So 5. Yeah. But he had already had 20, so he is at 25. Okay. That should soften him up for next turn. Deza went. The cultists go. There's only 3 left. Alright, cultist number 1 swings at the Cinnamon Men. 8. 12. That'll hit. Not a raise, though. Yeah, just a hit. Step 10 for the short sword is 2d8. 3. That does not go through the Obsidian's armor. Okay, the third one is going for the Obsidian then. 10. 13. That'll hit. That is with a raise. Alright, so this will be a step 12 for damage. So that is 2d10. Let's do the 10-sider. Okay. 6 points of damage. 2 gets through the 4 armor. The Obsidian Men is at 9 points of damage. Okay. And the last one is going after Scathra. He is at a -1, so instead of rolling 2d8, he is rolling a d12 to hit. 2 misses. The taunt, I guess, was effective. He's insulted and having a harder time fighting, concentrating on her. Okay, that's everybody. Top of the order for initiative. Scathra rolls a 9. Everybody else is going to roll a d10. 4, 2, 6, 9. Scathra goes first. She is trying to swing at number 5. 2d8. 8 hits on the nose, and her sword is an 11 step, so d10 plus d8. 9 points of damage. Blocked by 3 points of armor. She's done 6 points of damage on the guy. Okay. The cultists go. He swings back at her, but he's still at -1, so this is a d12. 11 will hit her. And does taunt still apply to your damage rolls too? Is it all rolls? I'll double check that real quick, because I think it's all rolls. Incurs a -1 test penalty. So yeah, this is a test. So I guess no, damage is an effect, so that does not affect his damage. So his damage is a 10, so this is 2d8. 8 points of damage minus her 4 armor. 4 gets through. Scathra is at 7. Okay. let's see, that was the first cultist's third cultist. Oh, well, wrong cultist. But that was the fifth one. First cultist is going after the Obsidian men. 7 misses. Second one going after the Obsidian men. 8 will hit. That's 8 points of damage. Minus 3 armor. No, 4 armor. He's got a shield. Is 4. So the Obsidian men is at 13 damage. Alright, that's the cultists. So Deza goes next. She's going to blast her earth darts at number 5 over here, softening him up for Scathra. Her roll is a step 10, right? So 2d8. 15. 17. That is 2 additional successes, so this is going to last 6 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and this is minus 2 to physical armor. Alright, and it still does step 9 damage, which is d8, d6. 10. Minus 1 is 9. This guy's at 15. What's their wound threshold? It's 10, so he's okay. Alright, that was Deza. Garn's turn. He swings. Guy in front of him. 9 will hit him finally, and his damage is step 15. So d12 plus 2d6. (11 plus 8 is 19. Plus 4 is 23. And his armor... Has his armor been reduced? Yeah, his armor is still reduced, so 23 minus 1 is 22. This guy is at 37, so he is dead. Alright, flat out dead. Okay. And that's Garn's turn. Scorth goes. Number 3. He's going to do his Spirit Dart. And his roll spellcasting is 2d8. 5 misses. Top of the order. Alright, so initiative Scathra, 9. Everybody else is a d10. 9. 1. 2. 1. Alright, we'll have Scathra go first. So this is 2d8 versus the guy in front of her. 8 hits him on the nose for his physical defense is 8. She's doing step 11 damage, which is d8, d10. 15 points. And his armor is only 1 now. So I said 15 points, right? Minus 1 is 14, so he's at 29, and he is unconscious at 28. And so that was Scathra. Garn turns his focus. D8, D6 to strike. 12. 19. So this is raising his... This is 2 additional successes, so it's raising up 4. His step damage is normally 15, so this is increased to 19. D20 plus 2d6. Man, another low ball roll with that d20. That sucks. Alright, 10 points of damage. He does have his full armor. So 7 gets through. He's at 27, not quite unconscious. Okay, and last one, that was Garn. Deza goes, she casts her Earth Darts one more time at this guy. That'll hit. And it does will plus whatever damage. That's whatever she rolls is enough to knock him out. Will plus 3 is a 9, d8, d6.
8. He is at gnome 8. 35. He is minus. He's alive, but he's knocked out. Okay. Alright, so the party has finished off the cultists. Alright. So that was a little bit more of what you get to see the full Earthdawn combat system of all the characters doing different things, using their weapons, using some talents. You didn't get to see everything, but you did get to see some stuff. Like the taunt had a pretty good effect. So did the effect of dropping down the opponent's armor, using those kind of debuff spells that combine a minimal attack with a little bit of debuff with it. It's pretty cool. So that's it for the fight. From there, what happens is they take the unconscious ones that they didn't kill, tie them up, and they give them to the city watch. The player character's fame is developing. They are being more and more respected and appreciated. They really saved the day here. This, again, was a terrorist attack that really could have destroyed like dozens of people below. A whole bunch of the attendees at the contest there. So this also has led to the discovery of the gate cult. There have been rumors of town of people possibly either worshipping the horror outside of the gate and or trying to overthrow the established power structure within the gate, or both. So there's people sowing discord in town, and these guys were involved, trying to perform some terrorist-like attack on the city. They want to maybe either they're worshiping the horror or trying to get access to that horror or something like that. So the characters have discovered the gate cult and that they are being summoned. The next adventure, next part of this, is chapter 4 of Kaer Ardanyan, are being asked to go to Kaldarn's tavern in order to wait on their master adepts, who are making a group pattern, trying to form a group to go explore the outside of the Kaer, because it's been decided by the council that it's time to send another adventuring party outside of the Kaer to see if the scourge has ended. And that's where I'll stop. All right, thanks.